Nottingham Forest 1, Man United nil. Same old, same old. We are back where we began. First half, not so bad of a performance. Second half, a very bad performance. Under par, poor, whatever adjective you want to use. It's the same thing. We were not good enough in the second half, and which is why we lost ultimately. First goal, look at Alanga. So he has the length of the pitch to run it, and we still have 2-3 defenders back. We still get skinned. Alanga scores. Decent goal. But you know what? Now people will start saying, you know what? We should have kept on to Alanga because maybe Alanga would have been better. And now let me move on to the second player, Alejandro Garnacho. He is up there with one of the worst I've ever seen play for this club. How many times did he get the ball on the left flank, cut in and balloon it over the bar? I'm not talking about just over the bar. It was well above the bar. And it was nowhere close. He had opportunities to cross. He had opportunities to nail the final pass. He didn't. And whenever he got the ball, he would push it one too many touches. He would take one too many touches and now the ball's away from him. And Nottingham Forest pressed him, got the ball, turnover. You think about it. Forest today, they were very poor, especially from a creative aspect. They did nothing. The one thing you do not want is a player who's crunching into tackles because you know what? You do need it, but you need a ball progressor as well. You probably would have done better if you dropped Bruno in the pivot or Eriksen there. Because why? Well, next to Casemiro, we could have used physicality. But the thing was, we had so much possession that we did not need the physicality necessarily. We had like 67% possession at some point. And if we have that, the thing is, we don't need another player who's meant to tackle. You just need a progressor beside Casemiro. But unfortunately, today we played Ugarte and the entire team dynamic fell apart because now we play Zirkzee as a 9 instead of a 10 and we play Garnacho anyways. And then we played Bruno as a 10 as well instead of playing him in the pivot, which has worked so many times. And along with that, Patrick Dorgu. Look at what Patrick Dorgu did today. His first touch, his first passing was off. Every single time he got the ball, he gave it away to the opposition. Now, he was making runs, so I'll still give him a little bit of a bribe. But the thing is, when he got the ball, today he was a subpar. Does that mean he's a bad player? No. But you know what? It's going to happen. He's only 20 years old. He's raw, and the only reason I would give him a blah is because he has certain qualities. And people like Garnacho don't have those qualities. You know why? You saw it today. When you get an opportunity on multiple occasions, especially over 3 years, by the way, it's been 3 years since Garnacho has come into the team, 2 years since he's regularly started playing in the team. And this guy still performs like a kid. He does not perform like somebody with 1 or even 2 years of experience in the first team, let alone starting every single game. And this doesn't seem like it's going to improve anytime soon, which is why we need to cut our losses with Garnacho, with Højlund, certain players who have been given enough opportunities but still do not show you that they're worth it. Now, did we show some decent patterns in the first half? Yes, we did. But the only thing that could make it work is if we score. And you know what? We had 20 attempts. But tell me, guys, can you really point out all those 20 attempts? Probably not. And I would say most of those attempts or chances were probably created after Maguire came anyway, when he started launching the ball into the box. Till then, we did not have any clear-cut opportunity to say, you know what, oh yeah, that's the reason why we lost. Or if we had scored that, maybe there was a bigger chance that we would do something. No, because you think about it, Garnacho kept ballooning shots. If those are still counted as attempts, which they are, well, there's your answer really. There's no clear reflection of why we lost the game in the attempts at least. Even the possession, we kept all this possession, but what were we doing with that possession? Just playing banana football and that's it. Playing around the box, around the box, around the box. Not doing much. And why do we lose? The final third lacked the edge that we needed. Because you know what? They need to either create, they need to score. We need that dynamic between players. Now let's say Zirkzee is the creator. Now you have Garnacho who should be supplying you with goals. But he's not. Now you have Højlund or Bruno Fernandes who should be doing the same thing. Bruno had a horrible game today, by the way. And if he's not creating, if he's not being a wonderful pass, which he did to Dorgu, apart from that, he goes throughout the game. And you do not want that in your main creator. In your main creator, you want consistent output. You want consistent chances created. At the end of the day, guys, we lost 1-0. It was such a boring game. To the point, I'm pretty sure most people were nearly falling asleep because it wasn't like this game was end-to-end. And especially if you watch other games in other leagues, you understand how poor the quality of the Premier League is. This showed exactly that. Nottingham Forest meant to be one of the big teams. United, traditionally a big team. But still, neither of them looked like they were good enough to win. Forest, let's be honest, apart from the Alanga chance, they didn't really test Onana like that. There was one save that he did, but apart from that, You know what? Onana didn't have much to do as well. And then Sells didn't have anything to do either. There's a lot to improve, not just for United, but for the entire league. If you consider Forest and their team and what they do and their players and their qualities, one thing you understand is that they are not even good enough to be actually third place. If you take any other season, Forest, even the way they're playing right now, will not finish third place because they look like an eighth place team, a ninth place team from past seasons. They're good enough to play as a unit, but individually, they're not so good. You might say, okay, Chris Wood wasn't there, especially when you have a replacement like Awoniyi, who's good enough and who has incidentally scored at Old Trafford before. So it's not like Awoniyi is a bad replacement, but the system is just not good enough. Why is it working this season? Because everybody has fallen off a cliff. Even if you see Liverpool, even though they're winning the league, we saw them against PSG. They weren't that great. Arsenal, they have their good days, they have their bad days. Man City have been off it. Chelsea have been off it. Newcastle, you know what? They're very inconsistent. Bournemouth are inconsistent. And you can go down the league and it's the same thing. Tottenham and United are nowhere to be seen. So it begs the question, is the Premier League dying? Well, I'm going to talk about that in a different video. You might want to check that out. That will come pretty soon. Is the Premier League dying and are other leagues actually catching up in terms of quality, in terms of entertainment? Are they catching up and is the Premier League just yesterday's news? Anyways, I'll make that video later, but for now, we just lost 1-0 to Forest. We could have done much better. We should have shown a bit more effort. Me personally, I don't think there was much wrong with what Amorim did today. Meaning it was mostly out of his control. It was more the quality of the players in the final third. If they had done a bit more work, maybe we could have done something better. We could have done something more concrete. We could have scored a few goals. Maybe we would have won it. We should have won it, you'd say. But we didn't. And at the end of the day, it's Nottingham Forest 1, Man United 0. And yep, City at the weekend. So see you all for the next one.